Hello. I want to thank everybody that's been here, and especially the people who made it happen for me to be here. I feel privileged to represent some of the students who received the scholarship, and I say to myself, why me? A couple minutes ago, a classmate and I were saying, I went to the bathroom, and decades ago, I never thought that I would enter into so much luxury, sit on the table and look at my meal, and it's so well decorated. I live struggles. I was terrified. I've been neglected, abandoned, abused, banished. But I'd learned to be kind, to move forward, to be humble, to be resilient, and to be an adult even as a child. I thank you, all the people that made it happen for me to finish my bachelor's in science degree in Bellevue University. I thank you, the donors, and especially because I wouldn't have made it without you, money, without your help, without your support. During the 2020, I struggle, but as many as you also struggle. I feel that I'm very privileged to have the opportunity to become intellectual. Many decades ago, I was one of the child who was in war. My parents flee for their life, and I stayed in my country with my grandma and 27 kids. I love family, but my grandma taught me something that it's so important. She told me that regardless of the struggles that we go through, we always have to look up for others. One of my fellow students, classmates in first grade, her parents were hanged on the tree of the main park during the war. And I had to ask my grandma, let's carry them. Let's take my classmate because she needs help. Regardless of the places that we went, seeking for a safe place to stay, we still took her as a family. And I appreciate that each of the contributors for my education had taken me as a family. I'm honored. Bellevue University has changed my life. I was very scared and nervous, and I say from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry for those who heard me and for those who hear me very worried in the beginning when I didn't see my application for FAFSA approved. Sorry. I struggled, but I kept on asking what is going on, and you guys helped me. Thank you. Thank you for understanding me. Thank you for believing in me and encouraging me to continue the school. I am a Salvadorian American and very proud of saying my father never attended to school, but at the age of 17, he taught himself to read with a local newspaper. Soon enough, he became a member of the board for the community because he always helped the community. Then he worked in big positions in the government. However, he had to flee. Him and my mom had to flee for their safety. My mom went to second grade, but she had to stop going to school because her father died, and she had to take care of her siblings. My grandma had a big family, 18 kids. finishing the school for me was just a dream. With the war moving from place to place, I didn't have a space to think about education. When I moved to California, I began working on a farm picking up avocados. After a year, I thought, I need English. It is important for me to go to school. I need English. So I went and moved from the city that I was to live with my auntie and began attending a school, high school, and working 3 jobs. How did I do that? I don't know, but I made it. I did my high school and my junior high, which I never had before, in 2 years. Then I dedicated myself to work and care for my family, which are very important for me. Decades later, I began to think that it was important for me to go to school, that I was working too hard, and that I needed to work in a different way. And I look forward to go to school, but I was still raising my children, and at the same time, taking 3 of the children that were not my own, adopting them. During this time, I thought there's going to be a system for me, and I will do it. But 7 years ago, regardless of the challenges, I say I need to begin and I need to go back to school. So I entered into Metropolitan Community College, and I earned a degree of a degree of human services. I never knew that I was good at it and that was something that I would have to study for until I began to take the classes. And people in there who helped me, who believe in me, regardless of my language barriers and the endless essays that I have to write, shaking every time that I turn them in, I was able to graduate. But it was all because everybody pitched in to help me and believing in me. Coming to Bellevue University was a challenge. I did not have the money to perceive myself seeking for a bachelor's degree. But several of my counselors and mentors told me, you can do this. You can do it. When I received that scholarship award, I began to jump and cry, and I couldn't believe it that I was one of the recipients. I destroyed every negative piece of thoughts that I have in my mind at that moment. I didn't think that I wasn't going to make it. I just thought somebody cares for me, and I can do this. Seven years ago, I also was still serving the community because that is someone who I am. I enrolled into Open Doors Mission for 6 months, for once a month, to go help serve and sit on the table of homeless people, just to hear their story and preparing their meals. I also, in 2015, attended to church and created a group that will help the parents that, like me, did not have a chance to have a little time with their husbands or wife. So I take care of the kids, of the children, and found 2 people who will do it with me so they can have some time. At the same time, I created a group of teenagers, a group in the community to restore the kids that were in trouble. And this is in West Omaha. I went to the north side of the city and helped during 2019 challenge, 2019-2020, the challenges that they were having to overcome the healthcare system. I went and educate many about high blood pressure, about vaccinations, and many other things. I have mentors. They walk along with me, they believe in me, and they help me to do all this. I wished everybody that it comes to school will feel the way that I felt when I began Bellevue University. It's an opportunity, it's a joy that I did not expect. I was dreaming to have an in-class session, but COVID-19 came. COVID-19 and 2020 came and changed everything for me. I had to learn to navigate the system in a different way. I was a caregiver of my mom. I was dealing with my dad that was in coma. I was challenged because I worked for the unemployment office. And as you guys can imagine, how many people got unemployed at that time. I saw the needs of the elderly community. I saw the needs of the people who did not have, who had big barriers for the language and did not know how to use the computer. So I began to work not only the 47 hours that I was paid, but I worked 35 hours more per week. At the same time, doing my school in Bellevue University. My bachelor's degree means a lot to me because before, I don't think that I was aware of so many blind spots that I had. And Bellevue University has taught me that I can see people for who they are and help them in a professional way. I'm able to conquer my biases. And I am so grateful to say that I'm working for Lutheran Family Services, which I have followed for so many years, just for the fact that they work with communities that are in need. And one of my very close friends and classmate helped me apply for the program, which we ran together. I work for human trafficking victims, and I have worked with Ryan's White, the program that is helping the people who has been diagnosed with AIDS. I'm a case manager, and I feel grateful, very grateful for the education that I have earned. And thank you to all. Because of all this, because of all the things that have come to my life, I have learned that regardless of how many challenges we have, regardless of how many terrible things happen in our life, regardless of the lack of education in our parents, regardless of violations they have done to you, you can move forward and view their life in a different way. And not only that, but make a difference in other people's life. And I appreciate every single one who has contributed to that for my education. Thank you all.